Howdy everybody, this is T Walker aka Tanner. I'm going to do a video response today to Anders is gaming geeky. It's a good question. And when he says geek, he's talking about, outcasts and depends on who you're asking. You ask your average person, is gaming geeky? Tabletop role playing, is that geeky? The average person's gonna go, oh yeah, nerds, I can't believe they do that. It's just so, why would they even, oh my god. Right? And the reason is, they don't get it. And most likely, they will never get it. I like that Ander, explains, or goes out to explain it to people, which is great. I've, explained it to a lot of people and got them playing, kind of, taken them over to this medium, but then there's a lot of people who I've explained it to who have blown me off, who have been like, no, 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 and they reject it so hard because they don't understand it and they refuse to understand it. But you ask someone who plays, of course not. I mean, this is the most immersive, the most creative, and the most intelligent medium that exists. It really is. This tabletop RPGs as a medium of storytelling and interaction are, there's nothing really that can hold up to them. Video games, well, they try. I mean, a computer cannot match the creativity and adaptation of the human mind. That's it. It can't. I mean, yet, but realistically, no, it can't. We can. That's what makes this medium so amazing, is that it's not some computer with some pre-programmed generated response. It's a person, and it's a person who is adapting to this singular thing that you do and creating a situation out of it and feeding it back to you, at which point you're taking that information and you're processing it and you shoot out something different that you're doing because of that. It is the most immersive creative medium that exists. But in normal society, yes, people do ostracize it and people do look down on it and spit at it. The reason why, I think, is that there are two things. People, normal people, your average Joe Schmo, fear most. Those two things are intelligence and creativity. The two things. One, because they don't understand them, or they are not them themselves. With intelligence, I'm sure you guys will admit, there are some stupid people out there. Some people who don't want to know things, who don't care, who, just really could give less of a shit about learning something new or, listening at all to anything that is not in their pre-prescribed little minds. And with creativity, I have this saying that I always try to tell everyone, especially when they're new to tabletops, because when I try to pitch it to them, I pitch it to them as this creative medium of storytelling, and if they're like are kind of interested, but you still kind of they're like, well, I'm not creative, and this is what I tell them. I look at them and say, you know what, everyone is creative. Just most people are too embarrassed to be. And it's true. People are embarrassed to be creative. And, the reason I think that is when you are creative, you're creative, maybe not in, the dreams you have or the stuff you think about. Because everybody does. They dream about stuff, they think about stuff, which is new and interesting because it's from, their perspective and not yours. But they're afraid to let the world see that. They're afraid to take the stuff that's in their head and put it out for the world to see. And that's where you get these people who say, I'm not creative. because they are afraid that, people will see, this thing that, that really is just representative, right here, that really comes from the heart, that really, is their soul, their creativity, their something they're really proud of, right? And they will ostracize it. So I do believe that everybody is creative, just most people are too embarrassed to be. Now, having said that, there are people who seek and destroy creativity. Especially not so much in college. You can, or at least where I am, but in high school, oh man, you played tabletop RPGs. Oh my gosh, right? And I like that Anders said he would always get in fights and would be happy to get into them. Same here. I would never back down from a fight. Even if it was in my best interest to back down from a fight, I would not back down, cause I love fighting. It's great. It's fun. It's interesting to me that so many of us do different types of martial arts. I do mixed martial arts right now. Not anything like serious, but for funsies. With some of my friends, we'll go out. We'll put on the the little knuckle gloves, and we'll proceed to beat the crap out of each other. I need a new partner, by the way, because my old one left. Anyway, so, but no, I really find that interesting that a lot of us, do these martial arts, and we're captain of varsity teams. I myself was captain of my wrestling team, right? But you get these people who say, "Oh, video games, and they're just like role players, and they're all geeky. They're just geeks." And the thing is, they just really don't understand. But also, they don't want to understand. Even I've tried to explain it to a few people, and they have, that's just stupid. Why would you even do that? That's childish. Okay, well, you're obviously in a good mood to discuss things, and even people in college will do that. But my next question is, when they're doing, you should be doing something, productive. Why would you even do that? That's so stupid. I was like, okay, well, you want to fight about it? Mostly it's dudes who I talk to, and like, alright, we can settle it that way, If you are unable to hold a conversation with me, we can see who's right by physical strength, or who can beat the crap out of the other. They're like, whatever, and they usually just fade off, but, yeah. I really, actually, I love it when people will call me a geek. It's an invitation for me to be better than them. I eat that shit up. When people will call me a geek, it immediately tells me, one, they've never played the hobby, never done anything with the hobby. Two, they don't understand it, and pretty much refuse to understand it. I'll give them a chance, I will, but I've already got it pretty set that they really refuse to understand this. Also, it tells me, you're stupid. I've yet to run into a truly intelligent person who, when I've explained this to them, has been like, oh, that's stupid, oh, that's gaming. Or, oh, that's stupid, oh, that's geeky. I've run into a bunch of stupid people who've said that, but never a truly intelligent person has ever said that, because an intelligent person will get it. They will understand what, it is, and they'll really, grasp and connect to it. And I've managed to, get a lot of people playing just because of the way I describe it, but there's people who you just can't, because they don't want to understand. As a last thing, I'm going to give an example that actually comes from my family. Oh, aren't they great? I was, for Christmas, I went over to my dad's side of the family for Christmas up in Redding, California. But I don't see them very often. This was the first time in a while. And of course, so we got there, and I think I stayed there about a week or something. But about 4th, 5th day, they found out that I played. I told them, I play tabletop RPGs, and they're like, "What's?" And so it was a conversation with my cousin. Actually, he's a bit older than me. He's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, well, probably most famous one is Dungeons and Dragons." And now Woodwwad says he never uses Dungeons and Dragons because of the stigma attached to it. That is my first go-to example, because if they can, to me, if when I use that and they can, still hold a conversation with me and still, really connect to me in what I'm saying, it makes me like them better. That's kind of like show your mettle to me now. When I say Dungeons and Dragons and you don't cast me off, and that gets you respect from me. But so he's like, "Oh, well, it's nerdy." I was like, "Well, no, it's not. How about this? You ever read in school? Did you ever read those, choose your own adventure novels?" He's like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Okay. Well, you know how the book always makes you choose between like two choices, and you don't want to choose either of those choices?" "Yeah." "Well, in this, you're given any choice you want. So, you come to that hall, and the book gives you two options, but you can do anything you want because you're not talking to a book now, you're talking to a person. And they will give you, what happens, and they will describe to you the scene, and you'll be able to react with it in any way you want." His next question was, "Well, how do you win?" Well, it's not a game in that sense. It's not about winning or losing. It's about telling a story. Why would I play a game that you can't win? You're missing the point. No, but I get the point. But why would I play a game that you can't win? You know what? Nah, it's not for you, obviously, but I enjoy it as a medium of storytelling. Oh, that's geeky. Actually, I think you used nerdy, but those type of people, I don't even care. I don't even waste my time on. Oh, my next goal was to try to get him to wrestle me for the rest of the time, or last time I was there, or grapple with me, so I can guillotine him and have him pass out in front of the family. That would have been funny, but he wouldn't do it. He would not. He wouldn't have none of it. It was hilarious. I was like, "What? You afraid you're gonna get your ass kicked by the little dweeby kid? The little nerdy kid? Huh? Come on, I'm like half your size. This should be easy for you." No, my shoulder's feeling weird. That was actually his excuse. I was like, "Oh, your shoulder's feeling weird. I think you're looking bad in front of your wife there. You're refusing to wrestle your 21-year-old cousin when you're obviously bigger than him. What are you afraid of, Ben?" Oh man, he was getting mad too. It's hilarious. Anyway, that's kind of a rambling response to his video games, the tabletop RPGs, geeky. And no, they're not. Because people who say that don't understand them. But when they do, when they label them like that, I eat that up. It's proof to me that I am better than them, because when they say that, they truly don't understand the hobby. Anyway, this has been T Walker, aka Tanner, talking about his tabletop RPG, Geeky. And I'm signing off.